guys, so today I am here to do part 2 of my favorite biblical baby names. So I'm going to be talking about my favorite boys' names from the Bible. I did my favorite girls' names from the Bible last time, and I will put a link to that in the description box below, so if you haven't seen that, you can go watch that video as well. And today I have 15 names for boys from the Bible that I love. So I'm just going to jump right in and start at number 15. And so at number 15 I have a name that I had to include, and that is Caleb. Caleb is my brother's name. It is a Hebrew name and it means dog. I would definitely consider using this name as a middle name for a future son. And Caleb was one of the two men who came from Egypt. Well, there was more than two men, but he was one of the two men who came from Egypt with Moses, who made it all the way to the promised land. And he was a very godly man, and I just think he's a great namesake. At number 14, I have a name that I think would fit in really well with names that are popular today, but it's not popular whatsoever, and that is Hezron. Hezron is just really cool sounding. I love the Z in it. It's a Hebrew name and it means enclosed, and Hezron was a descendant of Jacob and an ancestor of King David. And you could get the really cool nickname Hez, or the more classic traditional nickname Ron. At number 13, I have Jethro. Jethro is a name that I've loved for quite a while. I really, really love names that end in O, so that might have something to do with why I like this name so much. It's a Hebrew name and it means abundance, and this is the name of Moses' father-in-law, the father of Zipporah. At number 12, I have a place name, and that is Gilead. Gilead is a Hebrew name and it means monument of testimony. So it's quite a grand meaning. It's an Old Testament place name. At number 11, I have Job. Job is a Hebrew name that means persecuted. There is, of course, the book of Job in the Old Testament, which is definitely my favorite book in the Old Testament. Job is a man who is tested by God, and he basically loses everything that he has, but he never loses his faith. And the story of Job is one that I go back to and I read over and over, and it's definitely taught me a lot, and it's gotten me through some hard times in my life, and I would definitely use this name as a middle name for a future son. At number 10, I have Issachar. Issachar is a Hebrew name and it means hireling. Issachar, I think, would make a really great alternative to names like Isaac or Isaiah that are gaining popularity, that are in the top 50 right now. So if you're looking for a name that's similar to names like that, I think Issachar could be a really cool choice. Issachar was one of the 12 sons of Jacob and the name of one of the 12 tribes of Israel. At number 9, I have a really, really cool name, and that is Boaz. I just think this name is really spunky and different. There aren't too many B names out there, so Boaz is a great B name. It's a Hebrew name and it means swiftness, and Boaz was the husband of Ruth. At number 8, I have Solomon. Solomon is such a great name. It's so grand and it makes a statement. I had a university professor whose name was Solomon, and after taking 2 different classes from him, I definitely started to really like this name because he was a pretty cool guy. Solomon is a Hebrew name and it means peace, which is a nice meaning. And Solomon was the king of Israel and he was known for his wisdom. At number 7, I have another place name, and that is Canaan. I love the way that Canaan looks with the double A's in it. It's a Hebrew name of unknown meaning. And Canaan was a person in the Bible as well. He was the grandson of Noah, and it's also a place name. Number 6, I have Israel, and Israel is a Hebrew name that means God contended, and this was the name given to Jacob in the Old Testament, and it's a modern day place name as well. At number 5, I have Moses. I adore the name Moses. It's an Egyptian name, and it means delivered from the water. Moses was the Old Testament leader of the Israelites, and he led them out of oppression in Egypt. And I can see this name gaining popularity in the next few years, since names like Noah are so popular. Isaac, Silas is gaining popularity. So a lot of biblical names that might not have been on the radar before are gaining popularity, and I think Moses will fit into that trend, and people will start to notice it more. At number 4, I have a name that is one I think you'd have to be a little bit brave to use, and that is Balthazar. Balthazar is so cool. It's a Hebrew name, and it means Bal, protect the king. Balthazar was one of the 3 wise men who visited baby Jesus and brought him presents. I just think it's so cool. It's not really like anything that you normally hear Balthazar. It's just a really, really unique name. At number 3, I have Gideon. Gideon is a name I have fallen in love with recently. It's a Hebrew name, and it means feller or hewer, and Gideon was a war hero of the Old Testament. Number 2 is a name that's in my personal top 5 favorite names right now, and that is Lazarus. Lazarus is a form of Eliezer, which means my God has helped, and Lazarus was a man who was raised from the dead by Jesus. I just think this name is so cool. I love the nickname Laz. I just picture a really, really spunky little boy with this name. And my favorite biblical boy's name is Jericho. Jericho is my brother's middle name. I love the meaning. It means city of the moon. And Jericho was a city in biblical times that still exists today. So it's a place name as well. I love place names. So those are my favorite biblical boys' names. I would love to know what your favorite biblical boys' names or favorite biblical girls' names are. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't watched my favorite biblical girls' names video, I will put the link, like I said, in the description box so you can go watch that. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.